If you aren't experienced, you will find it very difficult because you're trying to figure out where to go and people are telling you different things. So it's a challenge. I would say the best way to get over that is to educate yourself, keep studying, keep learning, and keep practicing to a point where you're going to find your own system that works for you and you won't have to rely on anyone else. And at that point, these social media distractions will essentially fade away.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. With experience with chart hours, eventually you're able to have the confidence to back your own setups without being influenced by external factors. In crypto, there are so many different ways of extracting money from the markets. How do you find it when you see someone who has a completely different style to you?
There's a lot of ways to skin a cat, right? I don't care if you can look at the moon and the stars and tell me where Bitcoin's going to go if you get it right. Do what you need to do to be successful. It doesn't bother me at all when I come across someone with a different method. And I never understood why people get so bothered with that. I think there's this kind of need to prove that the way that you do things is the best way or the right way. There's no right way to trade the markets.
100%. Yeah, I guess it's just human nature to be tribalistic about things and to always think that your way is the best way and every other way must be wrong. Do you have anything that you would give as advice to a newer trader?
The biggest challenge you're going to have as a new trader is managing your emotions, especially with social media. So when we're at range highs, when it makes sense to be cautiously bearish or potentially short or de-risk, you're going to be hearing exactly the opposite. And that FOMO, which you're going to experience as a new trader, is going to eat away at you. If you're new, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. And so the odds of your success trading get better over time if you're following the right rules, but initially they're not going to be that great. And so knowing that initially you may struggle, keep your spot and trading portfolios separate. If you completely mess up your trading portfolio, you don't have to worry because your spot portfolio is going to be perfectly fine. And in this market environment where we're high time frame bullish and we think Bitcoin's heading to 100K plus, and this is going to be the biggest rally that we've ever seen in Bitcoin, and that also going to have the biggest rally that follows, the one thing you don't want to do is find yourself empty-handed on this way up because you traded yourself out of a portfolio. And if you can keep those separate, it's going to improve your trading game as well. You're no longer emotionally inclined to revenge trade because your portfolio isn't on the line anymore. You don't have that pressure of, I'm trading with everything. What if I lose it? What if I don't catch the move? What if I miss this breakout? All that goes away when you know that you have spot sitting on the side that will cover you if you do miss a breakout. And that allows you to trade better because now you're able to separate your emotions from the market a little bit better. Worst case scenario, set aside 5% or maybe 10%, whatever you're comfortable with, of your funds from your spot port and put them into a trading port and just mess with that one alone. Even if you blow that account, you have 90+% of your assets rising with the rest of the market. If you follow the right rules and you spend time in the markets, eventually you should become profitable. And at that point, you can then play with a little bit more.
Yeah, I completely agree with that advice. My first year was just floundering and losing a bunch of money and not really knowing what I was doing. And then my second year was kind of getting to grips with things and figuring things out a little bit. But years 3 and now I'm in year 4, for me, were where things really started to click. I saw the potential for something there. I could really make this my career. I could really make this something that retires me early, something that brings a huge amount of not just wealth, but also freedom and happiness into my life if I play my cards right. And I think with that motivation, I've been really laser focused on making it work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you tell someone that if you grind your ass off for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, and that sets you up for the rest of your entire life, I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Some people get it, but then they're not willing to put in the time and the effort for these 3 or 4 years because some people are not in the position that I'm in either. They have kids, they have a family to take care of, and I don't have kids right now, and I don't have these other responsibilities that a lot of people may have. It doesn't mean you can't do it. It does mean it'll probably take a lot longer. Instead of putting in 8 hours a day, you have to put in 4. And so maybe that means it takes twice as long to get where you want to be. But at the end of the day, 3 to 4 years, if that takes 7 to 8 years to set yourself up for the rest of your life, instead of working a 9 to 5 till you're 80 years old, is it still worth it? And I think most people would say absolutely, right? So I think everyone in their situation, it's going to be a little bit different, but that doesn't mean that it can't be done or it can't be achieved. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. It does mean that you have to have that mental fortitude to understand that it may take a little bit longer. It's going to be a difficult journey, but it can be done. You just have to want it enough to do it. I strongly believe that's the case for anything in life. And that's where you get the separation between those that succeed at these things and those that fail.
100%. Something I always think about when putting in crazy hours in crypto, if you want to live an extraordinary life, you can't just do normal things. You can't just work a regular amount. If you want to be the outlier, if you want to be in the top percent or 5% or whatever it is, you need to put in the top percent or 5% of work, right? Now, a lot of people want the lifestyle, they want the results, but they're not willing to put in the work to get there. Working hard to get to a place place where you're happy and where you can bring your family and your friends happiness. I really have just a huge amount of admiration for that, and that's something that I always try and do. And that's also how I rationalize working 14-hour days, 7 days a week. I'm working towards something, there's a goal in sight, and I really believe that if I put in the work, I'm going to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And you need to put in an equivalent amount of work. And I love that. That nails down the point. That drives it home.